So I'm thinking maybe we'll just call this Treadmill Chats. So, I wanted to give you guys an update on what I'm doing. So, I think I told you guys in the last video that there had been some blood work findings from my recent testing about the issues I'm having with POTS kind of like firing back up. So I go through time periods where this is not an issue much at all. I mean, I do stop myself from passing out every single day, but on a good day, that'll be like 5 times, but lately it's been like 25 times, and there's been days that I go out. So yesterday I did not officially pass out, but I did wind up on the floor at work and stopped it right before it happened. So a lot of times I can stop it when I'm still on my feet, and people have no clue. So the problem is when it becomes disruptive for everyday life. So long story short, this is what I'm doing, and I timed myself today as to how to get this routine done. And before I had kids, you know, even when I had Casey, my oldest son, I used to wake up in the morning around 4 a.m. and do all of my routine, but my youngest just turned 7, and it's like my body just needed sleep. I wasn't able to do that. So I'm back into a season where it's going to have to be a priority. There's not really any option. So I timed myself this morning. So the first thing I did when I woke up was take bone broth. And I also ordered another supplement that I'm going to be doing actually before even that. So it's fulvic acid, humic acid, and I believe there's Shilajit in it. Maybe not, I'll have to confirm that. So essentially I'll be doing that first thing. So I've done a product like that before. It was called Restore. Props to my husband for remembering that name because I did not. But they don't make it anymore, and plus it was pretty pricey. But what this does is it helps restore the gut lining. So it's one of the major things that I did in order to put my autoimmune disease in remission. So I'm starting that back up because my autoimmune markers were at 80, and I think normal is 60. But I don't consider myself to really have an autoimmune disease, what that just tells me. And it's also the same as it was 6 months and a year ago. And also, like, 6 months ago and also a year ago it was tested. So it hasn't changed, but I don't like it there. So I'm adding that back in because I know that's something that was vital in helping heal my gut and put my autoimmune disease in remission. I had Hashimoto's. So there's that. So that's going to be first thing. Second thing is bone broth. So I then sit with my bone broth and I read my Bible. Third thing is my AG1 with my salt, which I did a little less salt today because the bone broth has salt in it. So I did a half a teaspoon versus a whole teaspoon, and I didn't check my blood pressure. But that's how also I am telling whether I need more salt or not. I am checking my blood pressure and then basically adding more salt or being like, that was a little much. But for me right now, high blood pressure is not the end of the world. My blood pressure is usually in the tank, really, really, really low, at times undetectable. So AG1 mixed with salt. Then I add my creatine, D2, and vitamin K. I think it's K3, I don't know. It's whatever comes from the AG1 deal. And in the wintertime, I always just bulk up my vitamin D anyway because I'm not outside as much, and sometimes I'm always outside. So I added that in, and there's one other thing that I added there. Oh, amino acids. So all of that is in my AG1, and I use that liquid to take my LDN. And I have to think of the other supplements. I will have to look that up. So that's my morning routine plus my treadmill time. So I time myself to basically get all of that in, and that's going to be in about an hour and 10 minutes, and that's taking my time. And that's the big thing too. I could get all of that done probably in 45 minutes, but I don't want my mornings to feel rushed because the rest of my day kind of feels rushed. Hold that thought, gotta grab my dog. Come. Stay in the garage. Yep, come. You have to sit. Come, sit, stay. So I want to develop that routine And then the pace will essentially come with time of doing it and as I start to feel better. So long story short, oh, the other supplement, Boone, come. The other thing I added was that Primal Queen. So it says you are supposed to take it with food. But here's what I've learned about supplements and things like that. While, yes, it is important for you to take them as instructed, it is always better to get it in than to not. Okay, so that's my morning routine. Now, evening routine. So I have set for my tea, which, like I said, I need to show you guys all of the herbs that I have found that help boost iron. And sometimes I don't want the flavor of that, so I'm just gonna make myself a lavender tea, and I'm gonna add 1 or 2 of those herbs, just a tiny amount, just to add the iron boost in it without the flavor of the other tea, because it kind of tastes like dirty river water and it doesn't taste the best. So it just depends on how I'm feeling. Like, my goal is to get the tea in so I can get the rest of the stuff in my system. Some days I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna drink this, so I'm gonna make something that tastes good with just a little bit of the other herbs in it. All right, so tea in the evenings with my L-theanine, and it has magnesium in it, and then I add another magnesium. I also have a supplement from Plant Therapy that has tart cherry in it. I believe it has elderberry and black pepper in it as well. It's just what comes in the supplement. But I wanted that to kind of help settle my system at night. The most important thing that I'm adding back in that I can't believe that I've forgotten over these past few months, and I'm wondering if this is actually the sole thing that could be why my hormones are out of place, is wild yam cream. So I have this little bottle that I got, and you're supposed to do it daily aside from when you're menstruating. And you just do like a little pea-sized amount, and then you rub it on different spots on your body. So like last night I did it here. Tonight maybe I'll do it on this arm. You don't have to do all the places at once, but it says just to alternate locations. So added that back in for sure. And then some of the other research I was doing with the iron deficiency. It's not iron deficiency, because my iron's fine. Ferritin stores are low, iron saturation is in the tank. So that's essentially what's going on with me. And I'm trying to get all of that back to a sustainable level. But with that being said, your liver is taxed. So I'm adding castor oil packs in at night. So I will go back through and summarize what I'm doing. So the fulvic and humic acid first thing, bone broth while I'm reading my Bible and keeping my eyes on God. That's the most important thing with all of this. So he has healed me and from multiple things, and I'd love to tell you guys about that too if you're interested. So fulvic humic acid, bone broth with my Bible, supplements taken with AG1, salt, creatine, D2, and amino acids. In the evenings, doing my herbal tea, L-theanine, magnesium, wild yam cream, castor oil packs. So before this, all that I was essentially doing was the AG1 on a daily basis. I stepped away from a lot of things, and sometimes I will do that just to see how my body kind of regulates. And I did fine for a while. Like I said, it was a couple months, but when this all happened, it was very fast. It was also after I had 2 viruses back to back. So, you know, when your body goes into those things, it can take a normal person, a fully functioning, healthy adult, a while to come back from that. So, you know, with my perspective on things, I just needed to take a step back, take care of myself just a little bit more. So as a result, I can be a good steward for my family, for my husband, for my kids, for my friends, for the people I'm involved with, and most importantly, myself, so I can do all of these things. So that's the update of what I'm doing, what I'm changing. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day.